trying to live righteous.
It was like, go to your child. So I had called her dad, and I had told him that I was going to get my baby. And he was like, well, he really felt like, to give it some time, but he was like, if you feel like you should go, then go. If you need me, call me. And I had called Ken and told him the same thing. And he told me the same thing. Well, if you feel like you should go, just go. And I don't think how long, I don't know if it was maybe an hour and a half away. I told my job that I was leaving, that my child was sick, and I need to go. And I did just that. I clocked out, and I went and got some gas, and I got straight on the road, and I went for my child.
You don't think that was God that told you to get up?
I know it was God. That tap on the shoulder, that was God.
Get up and go to your child.
Yes, that was God. Then,
so after she got there,
because at that point when God tapped me on my shoulder and told me to go, I just felt like something wasn't right. And I said, when they come to her to deliver whatever they're gonna say, I didn't want her to be by herself. So I had to get there. And that's what I did. I went. And I remember calling her dad, told her I had just got there and getting ready to go in. And he was like, man, you got there quick. Did.
and then, like, when she got there, I'm like, okay, well, it's been almost 2 days. They still don't know anything. And it was still, that wasn't as small of a town as my college town, but it was still not a big place. So when she got there, I'm like, well, I'm finna leave. We need to just go to the hospital in Chicago. Like, we need to just go to the city and go to the hospital because they'll probably be able to figure it out faster than these people because these people still working on stuff. And we don't have time for that because I got to get back to school and stuff that I got to do. And so when she got there, I think we stayed there for probably about like
an hour or so.
30 minutes to an hour. And then we was out of there.
Yeah, and they did come in and talk to us before I decided to leave. And they had mentioned something about multiple sclerosis, I believe. And of course, you hear about it on TV from seeing the different commercials, but I didn't fully understand it. And I was nervous. Even on the ride there, I was praying. I listened to my worship music and just praying, like, Lord, whatever it is, you are a healer, and just trusting in God. So once I got there, and they did mention that, and they were saying that they looked at this and looked at that, and they need to do more tests. And I believe that they mentioned some about an autoimmune deficiency and different things like that. And at that point, I decided that I need to get her closer to home where my family and support is. So they didn't want to release Monique because they said they need to run more tests and she need this to that other. Can't remember if they even started you on any steroids or anything like that.
No, I don't think they.
I don't think so, because I don't think they had done anything, and that was my point of actually moving her. So I left that hospital, I forget the name of it, and I came straight back to Chicago. I did take Monique without their permission. They did not release her. And I told them, yes, I told them that's fine. I'm taking my child. I got Monique dressed. And yes, I took her to the car. We left, and I took her straight to Amherst Hospital. And I let them run the test. They brought up in the system what they had seen from the other hospital because they were linked. So they brought that up, and I'm like, don't go off of what they said. I wanted a second opinion. Do what you know to do, and let's test this, that, and the other, because I was not accepting of it. I know I wasn't. I just couldn't believe. I'm like, well, why, God? Why? Monique has so much, potential, so much inside of her. Like, I didn't accept it, And yeah, she was upset, but I had to hold it together while she was upset. And when they came back, Elmhurst came back and said what they said, I called her dad. I'm like, her dad need to be here because Monique went off into the left field. And I'm like, no, I need her dad. He needs to be here and handle this. So that's what I did. I called her father, and he got there.
And I think, yeah, I did. I was very upset when they first came and told me that. And then I looked, I think they first came and told me, and then I looked it up and seen that they had no cure. And so I got really, really upset. And that's when I was like, I don't believe in God. I don't know who this God person is, because I've been in church for 82 years and I should not be diagnosed with something that has no cure. And so I actually this week seen this guy, his testimony. He said, and it like brought a whole new perspective to me. He said, this is not a punishment, this is an assignment. I did not understand that at that time. So at that time I was very, very heated, very upset, very like, oh, I don't believe in God. Like, I think I even told my mom, like, don't pray for me.
Yes. And I was just like, and I was quiet at that time when Monique was just off the wall. I just felt like I need her father to get here. It did bother me too. I was upset because I'm thinking that, well, they can't give her no penicillin, no antibiotic, no nothing, so we can get rid of this and she can go on and go back to school and, you know, we go on with our life. And no, there was no quick fix pill. You know, it was nothing that, okay, we can give her this, she'll be all right in 5 days and you go on with your life. You know, it wasn't like that. And so it was different, you know, very different.
When did you first notice a change in me? What was I doing?
Changing you how?
Like a change from being in the world of like in my BC days to being sold out for Christ.
Sold out completely?
No, like when
or
you
starting that journey.
Starting that journey. Yeah.
I would say, I think this when we was living in Carroll Stream. When you talking about after school, after you graduated.
When did you? I don't know when it was.
I would say it had to be after a real change. It would be after you graduated and stuff and came home. And I mean, I seen little changes before then, but it was because I'm not sure what time you're trying to speak of. But when I noticed, I would say that's when we were in Carroll Stream. She had graduated already, unless you're talking about time before that.
No, I don't know what time. I just said
But the significant change in seeing that she's pulling on God and stuff, I don't know how many years ago it was.
What was I doing?
What was you doing?
Yeah, that you noticed the change. What was I doing? Like, what was life like at that time? That you noticed the change.
Girl, you testing my memory with stuff. I don't remember. What were you doing at that time? I believe you were starting to read your Bible. I don't remember, Monique. Sure, I'm trying to think. That's why I need these questions beforehand so I can think. I think her speech was starting to be different too. What she would say, different things she used to speak would be different. And I think you was starting to read your Bible. She was listening to sermons and stuff. I think at that time she was following Sarah Jakes. And just starting to listen to different encouraging things and listen to the word here and there, in between sitting in her car all day, every day. But, and even before that, she was watching Grey's Anatomy like a fanatic. She was hooked on that Grey's Anatomy. Yes, series after series, watching it over and over. But I thank God for Grey's Anatomy because that's what made her think differently and brought God into the forefront from when she was first diagnosed and saying that, you know, why would God let this happen to me? And I didn't know how to answer that stuff. I'm like, where's her dad? Because he know how to talk to this stuff. And, you know, I needed him to hurry up and speak to this stuff, this nonsense that this girl was talking, because, you know, I was dealing with it myself as well. Not that he wouldn't be, but I just felt like this is where he comes in at, you know. So when God spoke to her through Grey's Anatomy, you know, I started to see different changes, and she opened up to the diagnosis a little differently than how she first received it. And, you know, she got all right with it, and she went on and went back to school and, you know, pulled everything together. And she's like, I'm still going back to school. Whereas the family like, well, you don't think Monique should stay home, and you don't think she need to be with you? No, Monique wants to go back to school, and so back to school Monique will go, you know, and I was there to support her no matter what. And I told her, if you feel like you want to stay home and you need to be home, then we can do that. We'll make some different arrangements. But she wanted to go away to school, and I wanted her to go back to school because her goal was to graduate, and we wasn't going to let anything stop that.
And I went back to school.
And
I
she
did
went back
have
to school several times.
make a few changes. Like I think my mom hired me a driver because I wasn't able to walk around campus as much as I did.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend that would like come over and help me out and do my makeup if my hands were shaking and stuff. Like it was changes to be made, of course, but
Absolutely.
I still went back to school and I still graduated. I still did what had to be done.
Yeah, she called me and said, you know, I'm having a hard time doing this or doing that, because there were some times when she felt discouraged because, like she said, her hands were numb or shaking or this, that, and the other, or it was too much if her balance was off and it was too much, because we did not start any treatment or anything right away. Yes, she would come home, do the steroids 5 days at a time if she needed to, if she was having a lapse or something, but she would go right back to school after that, you know. I thank God for the professors that made accommodations for her. Monique had favor on her life, definitely, all around, like for real. God definitely favored her through everything that she was going through in her body. She had favor all around her. And I did make accommodations. I paid someone, her balance was off and she needs to go to the grocery store or different things like that. I did pay one of her friends or classmates to be her driver to pick her up and drop her off to and from school, because I didn't want her to have to worry about trying to walk to practice or to classes. So I did pay someone to do that for her weekly. You know, I paid them weekly to do that, and then even coming over to help her out with different things in her apartment, whatever she needed, you know, walking Bella. Like, she had, people were really good to Monique. She definitely had some good people around her, and I know I thank God for that, because I'm 3.5 hours away. I couldn't be there. You know, I couldn't just stop my job and, you know, go there, because I wanted her to stay there and finish school, and that's what she wanted to do. So life still had to go on. You know, life still be life, and regardless of things that we may be experiencing. So I thank God for the circle that she had that assisted her, you know, and we made it through. Definitely made it through. Her goal was to graduate, and we did that. When I tell y'all I was a student at Western, I was a student. I helped with papers. She had friends that helped with papers. Like, we did what needs to be done because Monique was going to graduate, you know, and that's what she wanted. She did most of the work, but we supported her. If she couldn't type it and she told me what she wanted to say, I was typing it for her. I'm in Chicago, she at Western. I sent it to her. We paid her friends to help her with her papers. She told them what she wanted to say, what it was. What was it? A business plan she had to write, all type of stuff. And like I tell you, plenty of papers for, and I thank God for her. But
this lady is name dropping.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Stuff.
sorry. Scratch that.
This her first video.
Replay. My bad. I'm sorry. But again, we had a circle of people, and I thank God for them. You know, everyone that helped through that journey, because it was a journey.
How has watching my journey up close been for you?
It's been a blessing. All the time, you know, there's been them downsides that have been hard on me as a mother, because no mother wants to watch their child go through any sickness. You know, Monique always say, well, mama could fix it, mama could fix it. This was something that I couldn't fix. And so I think that bothered me more than anything, because I couldn't fix it. As a mother, when your children come to you with different things, you want to fix it. You naturally want to fix it, no matter what it is. When my son came to me with different things that I knew was beyond my control, you know, as a mother, you know, I don't know how it is for fathers. I can only speak from a mother's perspective. You want to fix it. How can I fix this? And when I tell y'all, I Googled this, Googled that, herbal this, herbal that, like, I was always up late at night trying to find something, you know, and praying like, Lord, you know, show me which way to go or what to do, because I wanted to fix it for my child. No mother wants to sit there and watch their child go through something and they can't fix it. I was able to do certain things to make it better or easier for her, but that still don't take it away. She still have to go through some things that I can't fix. But I feel like at that time, that's when God showed who he is, because he wants the glory out of this. It's not going to be like, oh, well, Monique mom found this herbal medicine that she could take and, ooh, it heals her. No, God will get all the glory in this. Does he give us different things to help along? Yes, it's still from God, but it's not me, Monique mom. It's not Monica. It's all God. He's going to be the one that gets all the glory. And I thank him just with me being up close, being a vessel to experience it, because not only is it helping and blessing Monique, but it's doing something for my life as well, because it has not been an easy journey all the time. But when I look at Monique and watching her up close with her journey, I've never seen a person have more joy and more peace about things. I mean, she gives me joy back. Like she always say, it's harder for us than it is for her. And I believe that, especially as her mother. I don't know about for her brother, aunties, uncles, not even her father. But as her mother, when you watch, even though she may be having a good day, but when you watch your child go through this and she can't do this or do that she wants to do, it tears me apart. I have to hold it together in her face. But when I go into my secret place, it's tearing me up. I'm crying. I'm like, Lord, please, you got to make this better for my child. I don't want to see her suffer like this and I can't fix it, because I'm supposed to be able to fix it, but can't, So it's been a blessing, but it has definitely been hard as well. But I see God in it all. And I thank God for her joy. I thank God that she's not depressed, feeling sorry for herself, down and out. She's laughing. She has more joy and peace than anybody else I see. And I know that that's God, because without God, I know that it wouldn't be like this for her. So I thank him that he turned this around for Monique, and that she sees him in everything that she going through, and she going through it for other people. How many people y'all know will go through a sickness or disease or anything for somebody else? It's not too many of us that's willing to do that, to have your body afflicted for other people. You have to be chosen by God to do something like that, to go through it like she's going through it. Anybody else will be murmuring and complaining all the time, like all type of stuff, but not Monique. Monique, does she have her down days when she feels some type of way?
That's what I was just going to say.
Absolutely.
How would you describe my bad days?
Lord Jesus. When she have a bad day, baby, it's the end of the world, okay?
Yes.
It's the end of the world. She's not going to make it. Just take me now. Oh, God. I mean, when she have a bad day, and I won't even say a bad day, when she have a bad moment, because Monique bounces back, but she does have a bad moment. And when she have that moment, baby, I'm glad it's only for a moment, because I don't think I could take it for a whole day or a couple of days, because anybody that know her, she's very really dramatic.
Do be the end of the world for real.
Lord have mercy.
Do be the end.
Y'all know, the ones that know Monique, y'all know she's very dramatic. That has never changed from a little girl to now.
It do be the end though.
And she's so over the top with it. And she, Lord, I'd be like, Jesus, please. I don't even say anything. I just do what we doing and keep it moving, because I'm not going to go through the battle and try to tell her this or that, because one thing about it, she's learned herself that, oh, I was just having a moment and I prayed about it and God said this, whereas before, like if we would go to the hospital and they give her negative news, because they always got something negative to say, to the point where she don't even want to go and deal with it no more. And I didn't like that part. Every time we go, y'all want to add on something. Oh, well, you got this, so it's that. But I thank God that she, she bounces back on her own. She don't have to have me walk her through it. Be her and God, and she bring it on back, and she be all right.
What was the most challenging thing for you being my mother? That's like from birth to now.
I guess the most challenging thing to me as a mother with Monique and with my son is just to know that you're doing the right thing for that child. Our children can need us for different things or want us to do certain things, but knowing when to do something and when not to do something, because you don't want to continue to do something and it hinder them, or you don't want to not do it and it hinder them. Kids don't come with instructions when they're born. She didn't pop out with this instruction book and say, this is Monique life, this is what you need to do when she happy, sad, going through this, being rebellious, falling away from God. Like, they don't come with that. So knowing the right decision and the right choices and the right advice, that's why you really do have to live safe for your children, because you want to give them, what God says. You want to give them, yes, you want to share your life experiences with them, but what worked for this child doesn't work for that child. So each child comes with a different rule book, literally, not literally speaking, but they come with a different rule book. They could be raised in the same house by the same parents, but each child have their own way. And so my biggest challenge is knowing that I'm giving her the right thing for her life, knowing that I'm telling her the right things as she goes out into the world, from a little child up until now. Just knowing that I'm doing the right thing by her, giving her the right thing, knowing when to pull back, knowing when to give more, and giving the right advice. So that's to me been the most challenging.
Any advice for me when I become a mother?
I would say just keep God in it. Keep God first and let him lead and guide you. Again, you may do some of the things that I did when you were growing up, but every child is different. That may or may not work. I would say just definitely be prayerful and keep God first in everything, because we don't have all the answers as a parent. I know people think we do, or some people think you do, but you don't have all the answers, and you have to have a relationship with God so that he can show you, different things. Monique used to say all the time, I knew stuff before
she did.
Before she would tell me, or she'd say, I used to come home and I'd be like, I could smell that somebody been in my house, or different things like that. And she just felt like I always knew things before, I don't know. And she said, I used to hear everything. I used to see everything, smell everything.
Did.
But God had to give me that, I just feel like God had to gave me that. And she was like, your discernment spirit is on point. It's so strong.
Yes.
But that's from God. It's nothing of me, because how I raised my children is totally different from how my mother raised me, and I brought them up in God. But did that mean I had all the answers or did everything right? Absolutely not. I still fell short when they were younger, but I did what I felt was best.
This is the last question. What is your favorite thing about me and my story?
Is that God gets all the glory in everything. And she's still smiling. If God never do anything else, he's already done enough, because she still has her joy in everything. And y'all see the smile on every video. It's not just for this camera. That's Monique. That's her personality.
Okay, guys, this was a great video. I hope you guys were blessed by this story. If your name was mentioned or anything like that,
please forgive me.
Please disregard the name mentioned.
Did I mention a lot of names?
You mentioned a couple.
The
places don't. Well, the places don't really matter because we don't live those places no more, so that's fine.
I'll take that off. I'm sorry.
But I hope you guys were blessed by it. The peace that surpasses all understanding comes from God.
Yes.
The joy that I have, the world couldn't give it to me, and the world cannot take it away. That comes from God. That is definitely something that is given to me by the Lord. So stay in your word, stay in prayer, keep fasting, keep moving forward with your life. It's like what that man said, it's not a punishment.
Definitely
it's an assignment. So If you want to steward your assignment correctly and justly for God, like, I want to be compliant with what you have for me, God. I want to do your will. I want to walk in your plan for my life. I want to execute this assignment how you created it to be. Yes. I'm an actor in your story, God. You order my steps. You guide my path.
Yes.
So you have to stay connected. You got to be like this with God. Like, God, I never have enough. God, I want you to receive all the glory. So I will see you guys back next week. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on what's that? TikTok. I'll post TikTok videos so you guys can see me more often on there. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, you can email me or direct message me or whatever. Yes. Again, thank you to my mother for coming and joining us this week.
And I'm so sorry for the name dropping. I feel bad. We need to redo it.
No, we not finna redo that.
Oh my God. Just certain parts we need to clip out.
But we will, I will see you guys next week.
Yes.
The song is coming. So long. Farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now until we meet again.